Yes. Hello, everyone. Judy Davidson with FranChoice, and we have the beautiful Hall family, Zach, Morgan, and baby Jackson, and their dog Lucy. It's Take Your Dog to Work Day. I don't have a cute little baby like that. My baby is 21 years old in his third year of college in Boston, so I brought my cute little dog. But anyway, we are here to celebrate. Woohoo! Zach and Morgan are official new franchise owners as of today.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, I just can't tell you how happy I am for you. What a pleasure it was to work with you.
Like what?
All the franchisors fell in love with you as well. And of course, cute little baby Jackson. And it was just an accelerated process. Normally it's 4 to 6 weeks, which a lot of people think that's even fast. But Zach, being the overachiever that you are, you were awarded a franchise in 3 weeks. You will be in training 4 weeks, a month after you started the process, with dating 3 franchises at the same time. So, that's incredible. I mean, it's a true testament to being laser focused. Yeah. So I think I think it'll be great for us to start back with. You and I originally started talking mid-March. And so we spent a couple weeks probably in the foundational, educational space. We had our consultation similar to this. Yeah. Of course, I fell in love with you as well. But we should start with why it is important to have a big enough why in order to invest the time and the money into owning a great franchise. So, maybe let's start with that. Why did you want to own a business at your young age? I mean, you're only in your 20s. Most of the people that I help are more than 2 times older than you. That, they've spent, dozens of years in corporate America. And so maybe why don't you tell me why you came to the conclusion that corporate America wasn't for you?
Yeah. Nothing wrong with corporate America. I had a lot of great jobs, but the time period for me to get to where I wanted to go was taking longer than I wanted. And I've been pretty ambitious in my career as far as wanting to get up the ladder. And so kind of running into that time barrier where you need more time, and feeling like I had the experience and I was ready for the next step, but there wasn't a next step ready for me to take, really kind of led me into looking at other opportunities, other options, bounced around a little bit, and then ultimately came to the conclusion that I needed to do, run my own business, which is an idea and a thought that Morgan and I have both been talking about for years. And, you can talk about it, but there comes a time where you just have to, make the step and start doing it. And after bouncing around dozens of different business ideas, from app startups to different companies and things that we could do and try to go out and build, the idea of franchising came in. And I didn't know anything about the process or anything, how you would even become a franchise owner. So I started doing some Google research, and Google connected me to you, which you've been absolutely awesome through this whole process. But just being able to work with you and really hone down and define what works for us. And I think for us, our big why is just wanting to be business owners and wanting that freedom of time and money ultimately down the road. But really for me, it's that, control over the career path, and we're really hoping to, we're hoping to take a step and to do something, and not knowing what to do and being able to work with you to find, we're ambitious. We want to be business owners. We don't know what we want to do. That's where franchising for us really becomes attractive, because the model's in place, the support system's in place, and the reasons on why I would want to be a business owner, and developing people, developing teams, bringing a good product or service to the market. I get to do all of those things for myself and for the community, but I get that support system along the way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think that they can just buy a business or a franchise online, and as you know, it's very much a relationship oriented
Yeah.
process. So the better that you and I and Morgan and Jackson could get to know each other and build the foundation in defining what your ideal business looks like, we kind of reverse engineer it. There's 3,000 franchise businesses out there. So to weed through all that information can be overwhelming and confusing. And you did a great job of approaching the process with a blank slate and open mind. You knew you wanted to own a business. So that was number one, to become a business owner. Mm-hmm. And your passion for that overrode whatever the product or service was, whatever the widget was. So you did a really good job at that. And so in doing our foundational work, we defined your investment comfort levels versus your income needs and goals, which is the most important piece of the puzzle for everyone I help. And then we layered in your thoughts and experience in managing employees, sales and business development, your short-term must-have criteria, big picture, long-term dreams and goals. So after we built the foundation, then I was able to take your criteria and match it against our gold standard franchises. I was surprised when I was doing my research how franchise friendly Boise, Idaho is.
Yeah.
The majority of the franchises that I reached out to were already sold out in Boise. But I think I was able to find 5. And then you had made the decision to start investigating an insulation franchise, the senior care franchise, and then ultimately the irrigation franchise that you were just awarded today. Woo! So maybe let's talk a little bit about that, because you did a great job. You showed up for all of the weekly scheduled calls with all 3 franchises, the leadership calls, the validation calls. So maybe talk a little bit about the process there, and ultimately why you decided on the irrigation franchise, because that was kind of a last minute flip in the last week based on the new information that you received, because the insulation franchise was number 1 all along, and then you pivoted in the last week.
Yeah, in the process, and you had mentioned to be open-minded and to kind of work through it, that, things, don't be surprised if things change. I typically am pretty impulsive. So it's like going through the process, I was sure we were going to go with the insulation franchise, but every step of the process, I think, is intentional. I think that's, to me, one of the biggest things that I pulled from this whole process is that every step is very intentional. So as you start to go through it, you really start to see the big picture. And it's a two-way street. It's not what do you want, but it's what can you do? What do you have the capital for? What are your goals? And then what is the model of the franchise, and what is that going to look like? And so through this whole process, we were kind of, trying to envision ourselves owning this business or this model. And as we continued to go through the process, it did change. We loved the insulation company, and the more we started to learn, we just didn't feel like we were in a place that was going to help us meet our short-term goals, whereas the long-term goals were there down the road, but the short-term didn't quite line up. And the more we started diving into the process, the more that conservative irrigation just kept coming up, and it kept lining up with everything that we were looking for: the culture, the team, the support, as well as the financial capabilities and opportunities that it had to offer. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you were proactively engaged, which is really key. The extent to which you go through the investigation process, because it is a mutual interview on both sides. Mm-hmm. So the extent that you're engaged in this relationship sharing of information back and forth, like any other interview, process,
Yeah.
even in corporate America, is the extent to which you will succeed as a business owner. So, they had, all three franchises, I was hearing very positive things back from all of them. They all loved you. And so you were in a unique position to, to select which one that you felt was the best fit for you. And then the stars aligned because um, their confirmation day, which is the last step in the process, was just last Friday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
And you found out that you were awarded the franchise yesterday. And you're going to be in training in a week, less than a week. Yes.
In a week. Yeah. I fly out on Sunday. So
It's like,
Tuesday today.
watch out what you ask for. You just might get it.
Yeah.
And Morgan, you're there every step of the way as well. And you're going to be joining Zach for the second week of training as well.
So that actually got changed yesterday, but I will be going through the first week of training.
Oh, the first week of training virtually.
Virtually, yeah.
Zach is there in person. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Well, I just can't tell you how happy I am for you, and how just I know you guys will be rock stars. You'll kill it. There's a lot of growth in Boise, and so you're going to be providing all the irrigation for what they call it, Treasure Valley.
Treasure Valley.
Yeah. And so, Zach and Morgan, are you glad you went through this process?
Yes.
Do it again. Would you recommend it to a friend?
Yes.
Absolutely. You need to, in my opinion, if you don't know anything, if you're a new franchisee, potentially looking at the opportunity, working with a consultant, working with Judy is going to be awesome for you, because you don't know what you don't know, and having somebody to guide you through that process and to help you make sure that you're taking the appropriate steps. Because for me, I halfway through the process thought we were going one direction, and by the end of the process we went a completely different direction, and big decisions, big things that are happening. So all of that I would not have gotten through this process so quickly and efficiently, and feeling good about it at the end without help and a consultant along the way. So Judy, thank you. You've been phenomenal.
Thank you. You guys were awesome. Everyone I worked with was as laser focused as you are. You were locked and loaded, and there was no way that you weren't going to achieve your dream of business ownership. So I just can't thank you enough, and I am, ecstatic and happy for you. And I can't wait to hear more how training was, and hear more about the launch.
Yeah.
And everything. All right, you guys, I'll let you go, and we will see you later.
Thank you, Judy. Appreciate it.
Of course, Morgan. Bye, Jackson.
Bye, Judy.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay, I think I stopped recording.